Banned F1 drivers. Hello and welcome to our channel. Please like, follow, and subscribe to our channel for more video updates. In today's video, we are going to talk about the banned F1 drivers. It is unusual to see F1 drivers banned from racing. Drivers are now way too professional and are aware of how they are being watched. They are well aware of how each step is scrutinized, appreciated, and criticized. Furthermore, rules are stated considerably more clearly than in the past. It's admirable that the sport has evolved and progressed to the point where an F1 driver was last suspended more than a decade ago. However, there are some notable personalities in the paddock who have had race bans imposed on them during their careers. This video will look at the top 5 most prominent drivers who have previously faced race suspensions. The first one is Eddie Irvine, 1994 F1 Brazilian Grand Prix. Eddie Irvine was a fascinating individual with a flamboyant attitude. The Irish driver did eventually compete for the title in 1999 Formula 1 season. However, he came up 1 point short of 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤 𝐘𝐨𝐿. However, there were some dubious lows before he achieved those spectacular heights with Ferrari. One of the most memorable moments for Irvine occurred during the 1994 F1 Brazilian Grand Prix. The Irish motorist, who was driving a Jordan at the time, was engaged in a devastating 4-car accident. The incident involved Jos Verstappen's Benetton and Martin Brundle's McLaren. Eddie Irvine was judged guilty of the crash and received a 1-race suspension for irresponsible driving. Number 2. Nigel Mansell, 1989 F1 Portuguese Grand Prix. It's difficult to believe that a world champion is on this list. Imagine Sebastian Vettel or Fernando Alonso being banned these days. However, the late 1980s were a different era. Nigel Mansell was stopped for a regulatory violation after reversing in the pit lane following a failed pit stop. The motorist was given a black flag, but chose to ignore it. The final nail in the coffin was Mansell's collision with Ayrton Senna, which resulted in a 1-round ban. Number 3. Romain Grosjean, 2011 F1 Belgian Grand Prix. When he returned to the sport in 2011, Romain Grosjean earned a reputation as a reckless driver. In 2009, the driver competed in a few races before being dismissed by Renault. When he returned in 2011, he was more prepared to face the sport's rigors. At the same time, there was one thing that was obviously missing. It was his knowledge of wheel-to-wheel racing. Grosjean had a habit of getting into too many incidents at the start of the race. Incidents occurred in Australia, Malaysia, and Monaco. The paddock was sick of Grosjean's lack of spatial awareness, even before the circus arrived in Belgium. It all culminated in Spain, where Grosjean pressured Hamilton. Championship contenders Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso were involved in the accident. Tired of the French driver's numerous incidents, the stewards issued Grosjean a 1-time race penalty for the Italian Grand Prix. Number 4. Michael Häkkinen, 1994 F1 German Grand Prix. It may seem unusual to see the amiable, good-natured Finn on this list. Nonetheless, Häkkinen had a mean streak in his early career. The Finn was quick, but like any other rookie F1 driver, he made reckless decisions. Häkkinen was banned for 3 races after a late-race aggressive maneuver with Ruben Barrichello at the 1994 F1 British Grand Prix. The suspended ban meant that the Finnish driver did not have to serve it. However, things worsened when Häkkinen caused another multi-car disaster at Hockenheim, earning him another penalty. He was barred from competing in the 1994 Italian Grand Prix because he was already serving a suspension. Number 5. Michael Schumacher, F1 1994 British Grand Prix. Yes, you heard that correctly. Even the legendary Michael Schumacher was banned from Formula 1 early in his career. However, the manner in which the situation was handled was somewhat dubious. It all started when Schumacher passed Damon Hill during the formation lap, only to relinquish the position. According to the rules, the German was disqualified and was issued a black flag. The German ignored the black flags and continued racing, while Benetton, Schumacher's team at the time, protested to the officials. The protests were ineffective, and the German was sentenced to another 2-race ban. TheThings.com posted an article where it talked about different drivers who were banned from racing. The website states, recent issues in Russia with the whole doping scandal affected their participation in the Olympics, having shown how bad doping can be in sports, and then added motorsports to the bracket, and you can have a whole host of issues. It added, motorsport can see you banned for more than just doping. Various drivers have come and gone, and some of those have been banned for various accidents. The website mentioned Mahavir Raghunathan. Mahavir Raghunathan made a mockery of himself throughout the 2019 Formula 2 season by being exceedingly sluggish and caused numerous incidents. He received 12 penalty points on his license after failing to observe the virtual safety car procedure during the main race at Paul Ricard. That dropped him to the 12, which automatically results in a ban for an F2 weekend. Frank Montagani, Montagani was signed by the Andretti Formula E team in 2014 and started the season with a podium. After the next race, in Putrajaya, he tested positive for a drug derivative. He received a 2-year ban that ended in 2016, but he has not raced since then. Santino Ferrucci may have made waves in IndyCar this year, but many people forget what a complete moron he was in F2 in 2019. Apart from racial claims levied against his then teammate Arjun Mayani, he was barred from F2 racing for driving his car one-handed while on the phone. Oh, and he never paid his Triton team sponsor money, so the team went after him naturally. 𝐓𝐴 𝐷𝐚𝐼𝐴. After failing a drug test in NASCAR, 𝐓𝐴 𝐷𝐚𝐼𝐴 was famously banned from racing. He had tested positive for Adderall and was dismissed in 2012 by team owner Roger Penske. He completed NASCAR's Road to Recovery program and returned to racing that September. He even raced in 2013 Indianapolis 500. Andrea Iannone is a MotoGP rider rather than a driver. However, his latest suspension is noteworthy. Iannone was suspended by the FIM in late 2019 for a drug-related infraction after testing positive for an anabolic steroid. He is convinced that he will be able to appeal and get the provisional ban lifted. Nick Leventis. Following the 2018 California 8-hour GT3 Pro-Am class, the Straka racing car was subjected to a drug test. So did the drivers. Nick Leventis experienced troubles, but Dave Fuminelli and Felipe Fragra did not. His anastrozole test proved positive, and the entire squad was disqualified from the result. Leventis retired from FIA Motorsports in February of this year, and his contract is valid through October 2022. Igor Walicko. Despite his young age, Igor Walicko was not immune to drug testing. Unfortunately, after a round of the German karting championship, he tested positive for nicotinamide. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison at first, but after an appeal, the sentence was lowered to 18 months. Eddie Irvine received a 1-race penalty in 1994 after being involved in a crash that killed Jos Verstappen and Martin Brundle. His Jordan team appealed the ban, only to have it extended to 3 races. It was a caution from the FIA to be cautious while appealing any type of ban. And the last one in discussion is Felipe Massa. Massa was docked 10 places for the 2002 United States Grand Prix after colliding with Pedro Della Rosa in the Italian Grand Prix. However, those penalties only applied to the car's next race, not the drivers at the time. So Heinz-Harald Frentzen took Massa's position at the US Grand Prix. With that, we have come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also press the bell icon so you can watch the upcoming videos. Also, share your thoughts in the comment box.